Welcome to Emotions and Eating with Nicola Beer. Nicola controlled her feelings using food for 25 years, so she knows how draining it is to be constantly thinking about or acting out with food. Thankfully, having made an amazing breakthrough in her recovery, her mission became about helping others escape the unsatisfying cycle of frustration and self-medication with food. Nicola is determined to help you find your inner strength so you can be healthy, gain confidence, feel great, and be at peace with yourself and food.
Hi and welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to be talking today about sleep and technology, sleep and anxiety, and giving you some tips for some great sleeping. So sleep is an essential part of our daily life, obviously. And as adults, we are encouraged to have at least 7 to 9 hours. That's what's recommended by researchers in this field. In fact, research shows that it's not only how much we sleep that affects our ability to function, also the time we sleep, and that's the time of day, as well as the stages of sleep that we go through. And this is why sleep therapy is so important for those who are struggling to either fall asleep or staying asleep. You may think that once your head hits the pillow and you close your eyes, slowly drifting off to the land of dreams, that your body is done for the day. And this couldn't be further from the truth. As soon as we fall into a deep sleep, our body starts the process of healing and repair. And this allows all of our organs to process the day's activities and prepare for another day of keeping you highly functioning and well. For example, people who consistently go to bed late deprive their body of the much needed rest and repair time, which then means that when they wake up, their body's sympathetic nervous system goes into overdrive and they become irritable and anxious. Their immune system can lower, and it puts a lot more pressure on the heart, according to research. In fact, many years of having poor sleep has been linked to cause high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. This is why it's so important to take control of our sleep if we are struggling with getting a good night's sleep. And exploring natural sleep remedies like sleep meditations and some other suggestions that I'm going to be sharing today, they can really help us to have a great life. Because I don't know about you, the worst days where I feel absolutely horrible, low energy, low mood, everything seems worse than it is, it's always when I'm really fatigued, when I've had a really poor 1 or 2 nights sleep. Any discussion on sleep in our current society would not be complete if we didn't look at the role of technology and our sleep. In 2011, the National Sleep Foundation did a poll of those in America and asked them questions about their use of electronics before bed. So this is back in 2011, 10 years ago. And the survey found that roughly 4 in 10 Americans bring their cell phones to bed when trying to fall asleep, and 6 in 10 claim to use a desktop or a laptop within 1 hour of going to bed. And imagine what that figure is now, considering that in the last 10 years, our use of technology is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And many people in this cycle are often damaging their sleep by using technology. And I'm going to explain why. And sadly, children and teenagers in this study were far even more likely than adults. So it's so tempting to use the computer or phone before bed. And studies have shown that the reason that it's damaging to our sleep is because it can interfere with sleep by suppressing the production of melatonin, a natural hormone released in the evening to help you feel tired and ready for sleep. And this leads to neuropsychologic arousal that increase the feelings of alertness, when you should be winding down instead. So this is why technology keeps us awake. The biological clock in healthy adults follows a 24-hour sleep-wake cycle. When the sun rises in the morning, your body produces cortisol, a hormone that can make you feel awake and alert. As the daylight fades, the body releases another hormone, melatonin, that produces feelings of sleepiness. Electronic backlit devices like cell phones, tablets, readers, computers emit short wavelength enriched light, also known as blue light. Fluorescent and LED lights also emit blue light, which has been shown to reduce or delay the natural production of melatonin in the evening and decrease the feelings of sleepiness. Blue light can also reduce the amount of time that you spend in slow wave and rapid eye movement, REM sleep, the two stages of sleep that are vital for cognitive functioning, our brain functioning. It's not always possible to not use your phones and laptops at night, right? Especially since most people right now are at home and on their screens working, and it's so easy to just check a work email or get something done, and people are connecting with their friends and loved ones all over the world that they probably can't see right now. And so it's difficult to say, well, I'm not going to use my phone, my laptop, watch TV at night. For many people, technology is the way they unwind and relax and connect. And that's definitely true for me. I work with people all over the world, Australia when I wake up, and New Zealand, and then throughout the day, UK and Europe, as well as obviously people in Dubai and the Middle East where I am, and then my afternoons and evenings with people in the US. So for me, my hours are a little strange, and I do need to keep connected, and Zoom calls are a very daily part of my business. So I've covered some tips in how to get better sleep when you do use technology. And if you are like me and you do use your devices at night, then did you realize that you can actually switch them to night mode, which dims the blue light? I was delighted to find that many cell phones, tablets, and other portable electronic devices are equipped with a nighttime mode that is easier on the eyes before bed. As one study noted, the most effective nighttime modes will reduce blue light emissions and decrease the display's brightness setting so it will not interfere with your natural production of melatonin. On my phone, it's called Eye Comfort, which I thought was a great name. So on my phone, Eye Comfort, I put it on and it's just dimmer, but I can still read it really clearly. So have a check of your devices, see if you can do that. And if you can't, then manually consider dimming the display of your device if you don't have that function automatically. In fact, I was quite surprised with mine. I can even time it and put in the time when I want it to go onto the eye comfort mode. Also, highly recommend keeping devices out of the bedroom so you associate the bed for sleeping and lovemaking. If we associate our bed with watching high energy TV shows, with other activities, with work, if you sit in bed with your laptop, you don't have that association with the bed as this is for lovemaking and sleep and that's it. So now I'm going to switch to talking about sleep and anxiety. What do you do if your sleep is caused by anxiety? Now this is a catch-22 situation for many because research shows that a lack of sleep increases your anxiety throughout the day. And when a person doesn't get a full night's restful sleep, the body wakes up with their nervous system on high alert. And for someone with anxiety or panic disorder, this means that their symptoms will be heightened even more than usual. And it really is a vicious cycle. And if this resonates with you, I want you to know that you can change this and it doesn't have to be painful or take a long time. So we will look at anxiety first and then how anxiety impacts sleep, and then I'll share some tips on how you can change this. So I've worked with countless individuals who suffer from some form of panic disorder and anxiety. And one of the most common things that comes up is not being able to control the thoughts that race through the mind all day and night. These uncontrollable thoughts make it so much harder to feel at peace at night and close off from the rest of the world. For some, the panic just doesn't stop when they get into bed. In fact, there are people around the world that suffer from nocturnal panic attacks. And what that means is they feel the same symptoms of panic attacks, but when they are asleep. And it can be so scary to wake up whilst experiencing chest pain, heart palpitations, sweating, and shaking. And it makes it so much harder to fall back to sleep again, continuing the cycle of anxiety and poor sleep. There are also instances where people have experienced something traumatic, and when they are trying to sleep, their subconscious mind brings up the trauma to the forefront, wanting them to resolve it, resulting in nightmares and night terrors, which of course can be really scary as well. Just like the nocturnal panic attacks, people can have physical symptoms. They can feel their heart beating. They can feel their breath in a strange rhythm. And sometimes with the night terrors, they can wake up panting, crying, or screaming. So it's really important to get action and help if you're going through that. If you suffer from panic disorders, nocturnal panic attacks, anxiety, night terrors, I'm going to share some things you can do. And if you're just really a good sleeper and something has happened in your life, maybe financial loss, job loss, relationship stress, then it can also, of course, play on the mind. And if you follow the advice that you read out there to cope with emotions, which says keep busy, that isn't going to help. So if you suffer from poor sleep right now, here are some really great tips to support you restore peace and calm in your mind to have a more restful sleep at night. Firstly, you want to identify the root cause of the lack of your sleep. Before I carry out any work with somebody, I always ask them to explore their feelings, their emotions, anything they're trying to avoid. I sometimes ask them, what have you never told anyone about your situation? And sometimes keeping these things in, they get larger and more troublesome and more bothersome. And we also look at their thought patterns. What thoughts do they have on repeat that is causing dis-ease? Our body always should be in good health. It's abnormal to not be in good health because our mind knows exactly how to run our body perfectly well and how to create a healthy body. So we need to tap into that and look at what emotions and thoughts are in the way. Sometimes I'll do a detailed history with them where we go into their life events and triggers that have caused the lack of sleep, what's weighing on their mind, often weighs on the body. So we often sometimes scan the body and I ask them to tap in and learn from their own body's wisdom, to listen carefully to what's really going on. For example, if someone feels discomfort in their chest, pains in their heart, that's often where heartache is. It's where someone's feeling hurt emotionally, and it's important to look at that heartache and heal the heart. Other times it can be where someone has a pain in the neck or shoulders, and often that person has someone in their life who is causing them pain, whether that's being bullied at work or having a family member who is being a pain in the neck,